قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I welcome you once again to another fresh episode of Nasfat Afar, an initiative of Natural Life Society to enlighten us on the Deen al-Islam. Inshallah, on today's edition of the program, we shall be looking at seeking the pleasure of Allah. And in the studios with me, I have women of Jannah to discuss and enlighten us on what this concept is all about. I have in the studio, I have Alhaja Samiat or Molara Mumini, Women Affairs Secretary, Nasfat Worldwide. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Next to her is Alhaja Folami Nuras, Member Women Management. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And to my immediate right is Alhaja Sadiat Onike Abdulaziz, Dawa Coordinator for Women. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, you're all welcome to the program once again. Inshallah, like I said earlier on, our topic is seeking the favor of Allah. But first of all, I want us to look at this. What do we mean by the concept seeking the favor of Allah? Alhaja, let me start with you.
Alhamdulillah, 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 I'm a Muslim. Seeking the pleasure of Allah is based on your faith. It's based on a strong faith. It's based on the kalimat shahadat. In Quran chapter 2, verses 2 to 4, it is said there. The Quran is the guide to all Muslims. Muslims that pray regularly, that you supplicate, that give out alms, that do good, and also enjoy others to do good. In Surah Al-Asri, we have been admonished to do good and enjoy one another to do good. That is what Asri in al-inzana la fi kusri illa ladina amanu wa amilu saliyat wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr.
Thank you very much, Alhaja. Now, Alhaja has looked at this from the angle of faith. Alhaja, which other area do you want to come in to explain what seeking the pleasure of Allah is?
Thank you so much. You know, to strengthen this faith we are talking about, for you to be able to seek the pleasure of Allah, you must know how you seek this pleasure of Allah. And that takes us to the knowledge part of it. That you must know how to seek the knowledge of Allah. Allah has told us that you have to know me before you worship me. You know, so that while you are seeking the pleasure of Allah, you do it correctly and you'll be able to get the reward for it. But if you are doing it wrongly, if you don't know how Allah has spelled it out for us to seek His pleasure, even in His book, in the Quran, then if you say you are doing this act, it may be out of point without you getting the reward. And seeking knowledge about Allah, for you to know how to worship Him. He said He has created us, not for any reason, but for us to worship Him. So for us to worship Him correctly, to be able to get His pleasure, you must know how to do this. And that is the emphasis on knowledge is very, very important here. That the Prophet ﷺ has also told us that we should seek knowledge, that seeking knowledge is important, compulsory for male and female Muslims. And that if you learn the Quran too, you have to teach it. All this the Prophet ﷺ has emphasized to us. So seeking the pleasure of Allah, important very well there is that you have to know how to do this, so that every act you do as an act of ibadah will be on point. And that is when you'll be able to gain this knowledge, the pleasure of Allah. But if you don't do it correctly, then what is the essence? That knowledge is what will differentiate between an ordinary act and the act you are doing to gain His pleasure, for you to get His reward. And it is when you gain His pleasure that you'll be able to get His reward. So we need to be very, very close to the Quran. We need to be very, very close to the hadith of the Prophet to learn about the different ways Allah has, stipulated in the Quran, the way the Prophet ﷺ has taught us on how to seek the pleasure of Allah, on how to do every act we do as act of ibadah. And that is when we'll be able to get His pleasure and be able to get reward for whatever we do.
Thank you very much. Allah continue to increase us in wisdom and knowledge. Alhamdulillah. Alhaja, let me come over to you, ma'am. She has talked about how to go about it. What are these ways? What are the various ways? How do we seek the pleasure of Allah?
Thank you very much. I would like to start by adding something to what Al-Haja just said, that the purpose of our creation is for the worship of Allah. When we worship Allah, through our worship is our service to humanity. When we serve people, then we're serving God. It is enshrined in His worship that we serve people. So I would like to say that some of the ways in which we can worship Allah is being a good ambassador of Islam, because it is by projecting Islam the way it is supposed to be that we can worship Allah, that we can show people that this is how He should be worshipped and this is what He should do. Some of the ways in which we can seek the pleasure of Allah is by being a good ambassador to Islam through a lot of things. First of all, in our utterances, the way we talk, it has been enjoined on us that we should lower our voices, we should lower our gazes, that we should not look at things that we're prohibited to look at. When you're talking to somebody, you talk to them in a humane way, in a humble way, in a peaceful manner, so as not to elicit any kind of violence or any kind of ill feelings from them. Then through our dress codes also, we can seek the pleasure of Allah through our dress codes. We should not wear tight-fitting clothes. We should not wear things that are revealing, things that will elicit all kinds of emotions in other people and make them to sin. Those are some of the things in which you can do to elicit the pleasure of Allah. Apart from that, our relationship with others is also very important. We must be compassionate with people. We must talk to them in a gentle manner. We must relate to them in a gentle manner. Our community is also very important. One of the ways of seeking the pleasure of Allah is by being a good ambassador of Islam. Because by being a good ambassador, you are showing good example. You are projecting the image of Islam. For instance, in your utterances, the way you talk to people, the demeanor in which you explain yourself to people, you are expected to talk calmly, to be humble, to be peace-loving. You are not supposed to talk or shout at people. The things you even say, the content of the things that you utter are also very important. You do not utter words that they refer to as al-fahsha words. You talk with decorum. You talk with some kind of a religious piety.
يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن.
Fountain University, Osogbo, the University of the National Al-Fati Society, Nasfat, offers qualitative undergraduate and postgraduate education with courses in the College of Management and Social Sciences, as well as the College of Natural and Applied Sciences. Fountain University, Osogbo, is a faith-based character-building institution with fully accredited courses and international exchange program with ultramodern science laboratories and well-equipped mass communication studio complex. Fountain prides itself as a pace-setting university in exposing students to professional best practices. Her graduates have excelled in their various careers and won prestigious presidential scholarship awards. Fountain University also runs part-time and professional programs. Admission is on for applicants through UTME and direct entry. Visit our website or call. Fountain University, Osogbo, faith, knowledge and service.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Jazakumullahu khairan Alaja. You have talked about being an ambassador of Islam and having good human relations, which is very, very important. Now, let me come to Alaja. Alaja has talked about these 2 points. Are there other ways that we can see, apart from being a good ambassador of Islam, having good human relations in your community, what other ways can we seek the pleasure of Allah?
Thank you so much. You know, like she said, attitude is very, very important. Then, charity begins at home. I want to talk about how do you seek the pleasure of Allah from your home. The society we know is made up of family units. The different family units make up the society. So we can seek the pleasure of Allah from the different roles we play in our homes. As a father, whatever you are supposed to do has been spelled out by the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if you do all these duties, you are dutiful at home, you provide the financial support for the family, you guide your family to the right path spiritually to worship Allah, you ensure that you keep your family, the wife and the children, because the Prophet ﷺ said on the day of recompense that you will be asked, that you are the shepherd of the home, and you'll be asked on that day, how did you do it? You are going to give an account. So if you do it well, lillahi wa rasuli, you are also seeking the pleasure of Allah. As a mother in the house, all the primary roles you are supposed to play in the house, taking care of the husband, taking care of the home, taking care of the children. For our children to be celebrated in this world, in the society, to make this society a better society, to make it a good society, the mother, the father, they have a lot of role to play. So we can also do these roles and do them in a way that will seek the pleasure of Allah. Because in the Quran, everything has been stated, all the prohibitions, all the things you're supposed to do, all the things you're supposed not to do to your family. So the woman taking care of the children, raising them up, introducing the religion to the children. The Prophet said, from 7 years old, ask your children to start praying. By the time they get to 10 years old, they would have, got used to serving Allah. All these things we do them as Allah has stated. And with that, we get the pleasure of Allah. Because by the time we turn out our children to the society and they are good Muslims, that is also part of getting the pleasure of Allah. Because on that day, just as the father will give an account, the wife too will give an account on how he took care of the family, how he took care of the husband's wealth. So all these things, you do it correctly, the way Allah has stipulated, the way the Prophet has told us to do it, then you also get the pleasure of Allah. Because the society today is corrupt, is morally bankrupt because of the different family units that has failed. So if we can do all this very well, our society will be better for it. And also, another important thing is tying family ties. Family ties must not be broken from you. If a part of the family is trying to break the family ties, you strengthening these family ties, there's reward for that. Allah will reward you. Allah will replenish you. Allah will give you a lot of mercy, a lot of barakah for tying family ties. So all these things have to do with the family, and you have to know how to do it, how He has asked us to do it. So every act you do, according to what He asks us to do, and you say you are doing it to seek His pleasure, He has seen it. Your intention matters a lot. And this is what differentiates between an ordinary act from an act of ibadah. So every action you do to make sure that your family does not deviate from the way of Allah, from the guidance of Allah, then with that, you are getting the pleasure of Allah through your primary role at home with your family.
Allahu Akbar. So even from the home front, as mothers, as wives, as father, we could actually seek the pleasure of Allah by being dutiful. Alhamdulillah. I think our parents at home, I hope you are listening. Even from our home, we can seek the pleasure of Allah. Allah Akbar. Now let me go to Alaja Momini. She has told us from the home front. Apart from the home front, being an ambassador, having good human relation, what other ways can we seek the pleasure of Allah?
Thank you very much. Let me pick charity, for example. It's part of the good deeds. You visit the sick, those who are in the hospitals. When you visit the sick, then you appreciate wellness. You appreciate Almighty Allah, what He has done in your life. It makes you humble when you visit the sick. Then you make the sick person also happy. The poor people within the society, the less privileged ones, you should be of concern. Their welfare should be of paramount importance to you. For example, your house help. There's nothing stopping you in sending them to vocational training schools while your children are in schools. They too can benefit from it. You will seek favor of Allah through that way. Even your security guards, their welfare, their food, not just because you are paying them some peanut amount, should take care of their health, their well-being, their food should be concerned. Removing harmful materials from the road. Assisting other people in terms of education, educating other people, using your knowledge, using your wisdom to educate, to empower other people. Whatever you have by mentoring, these are ways by which you can assist others. You will seek the favor of Allah through all these acts. Not only that, going to the mosque, you can seek the favor of Allah. Apart from supplicating, apart from your 5 times daily prayer, you can even go to the mosque and clean the place. You can clean the toilets. The mosque is a leveler. Because you are rich, doesn't mean you cannot do cleaning or cleaning the toilet in the mosque. You can do that. You seek the favor of Allah through that way. And if anything happens to you, whether good or bad, you should appreciate God Almighty. In Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 3, Almighty Allah said because you worship me, because you say you are Muslim, does not mean I will not test you. But if you are patient, you will enjoy me better. In other words, you should appreciate Allah at every time. You should supplicate. You should enjoy others to do good. You'll be rewarded for it. There's reward in every good act that you do. But please note, even if you are helping others, you don't have to backbite. You don't have to go behind that person. Maybe you assisted the person. You don't have to go behind that person and reveal the secret. Oh, I clothe him, I feed him, and so on and so forth. Those are the acts that you can do that will not be rewarded.
Alhamdulillah, Elijah has talked about charity. Elijah, please, can you shed more light on charity as a means of seeking the pleasure of Allah?
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much. Elijah has spoken mainly about charity in terms of financial aspects. I would like to also say that you don't need money sometimes to be charitable. Sometimes a smile, a kind word to a person, or advice or counsel to somebody who needs somebody to talk to can also be charitable and is rewardable by Allah. As I was saying, money is not the only means of being charitable. You can be charitable by just using your time, spending your time in the mosque to counsel people, to engage in religious activities, in religious programs that they have at the mosque. So, and all of these are rewardable by Allah. Whatever you do, your time and everything else is rewardable by Allah. So do not think that you have to have money before you can be charitable.
Allah Akbar, Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Elijah. So without money, I can actually seek the favor of Allah, the pleasure of Allah, by my strength, my time. That's interesting. Elijah, apart from all what we have talked about, is there another way we can see the pleasure of Allah?
We'll continue from where Elijah Folami stopped. There are ways through which you can seek the pleasure of Allah without using money. You can actually learn the Quran and teach it. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the best among you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. The Prophet ﷺ, during his last sermon, said all the things he has taught the people, that they should ensure they teach it to others, even if it is one verse. That is very important. That does not involve money. Then also in Quran chapter 16 verse 125, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that call people onto the way of Allah with good words and wisdom. That does not involve money. That is what we call dawah. Call people onto the way of the Lord. Teach the Quran. Teach the hadith of the Prophet. Teach the deen to people. All what you have learnt about the religion. You don't have to be a scholar to do this. And you don't have to have money to do this. You can gather people, you can gather women, you can even start from your home. Gather your children, teach them about the religion. Let them know about the religion. And by the time this knowledge spreads, your children will teach to others. Then with the women you have contact with in your community, in your society, teach them this Quran, teach them the hadith of the Prophet. Let them have knowledge of the religion so that they can practice the religion the way it should be practiced. Dawah, calling people into the way of Allah, is very, very important. And we do this whether we know it directly or indirectly. Because when you behave outside, you don't know people are reading what you are doing. A lot of people don't have contact with the Quran. They don't have contact with the hadith of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What they are reading is you. And it is your behavior they are using to judge the religion. So whatever behavior you are putting up outside there, make sure you are teaching the Quran, teaching the religion to people. With this, you're also seeking the pleasure of Allah. So every act you do, you are using it to seek the pleasure of Allah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So we should be mirror to the society, because whatever they see in us tells them what Islam is all about. So as a Muslim, you are a mirror to everybody in the society. Al-Hajjah, we know Nasfat is a well-known society. Are there programs or ways that Nasfat has put projects on ground when we're talking about seeking the pleasure of Allah?
Thank you very much. In continuation of what she said, that's Alajanike, the Dawah program. We have a regular Dawah program. We have daily Quranic reading classes to ensure and to impact the knowledge of the Holy Quran on our people. Because the Quran and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet is their watchword. In Surah Al-Baqarah, that is the second verse. Alif Lam Mim. The Quran is a guide. And because of that, we ensure that people are able to read the Quran. We have Quranic classes, we have morning classes, we have evening classes, we have Sunday classes, and we also have holiday classes so that people can learn the Quran. And you know, Allah said you should seek for knowledge. No. When you seek for knowledge, you'll be broadened, you'll be more enlightened. Apart from that, we have programs by which we impact positively on the less privileged ones. We have donated items to several hospitals to aid the needy. We have welfare programs. We have empowerment programs in Nasfat, whereby we empower the less privileged ones. We encourage people to learn. We educate people. We have education department whereby we educate our children. We have lesson classes for school children. We have for the adults. We have for different category of people. Apart from that, seek favor of Allah through janazat. That is building of the corpse. Because you live in a neighborhood and probably somebody died, they are looking for somebody to birth that corpse. We empower women to learn how to birth the corpse. And it's something we do regularly. Every two weeks, you come to learn about it. We organize courses, programs, welfare programs, educational programs, health programs. We even give out free eyeglasses to the needy, to those who cannot afford to see the optician.
Alaja Folami, as a member of the women management, are there other ways Nasfat has impacted in some projects in seeking the pleasure of Allah?
Thank you. Alhamdulillah, the Nasfat Society has a program or a means of supporting the needy in the society. We have a place that we call Support Shop, located in the premises of the society. At this shop, we have used items, good used items, which are like second to new, that are ready there for people who want to come and, you know, when we find out that there's a person within the society who has had a misfortune of having their houses burnt, or having some kind of calamity, we donate it to them. They come in, they take what they need for the time being, and we help them to at least alleviate their suffering for that period of time. Some of those things have also been donated to the IDPs, the internally displaced people. We have had to take things down to as far as, is it Maiduguri or Borno, where we have all these calamities of the Boko Haram happening. So we have been able to impact, and sometimes when some of these things are sold, the money there is used to give people who need monetary assistance in the society. So these are some of the things that the society has been able to do to support and to seek the pleasure of Allah in one way or the other.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Nasfat has really gone far. Apart from the shop and other things that we have done, any other things that Nasfat has been able to impact in seeking the pleasure of Allah?
Yes, an important one that I want to mention now is the Widows Empowerment Program. If you look at the widows in our society, they're a part of the women population that are neglected by most people. They are left alone to carry the financial burden of the family when the husband dies. And as a result of this neglect, most of them don't have the capability to carry this burden on their own. And this results into most of their children dropping out of schools and all that. So because of that, Nasfat has taken it upon themselves to empower these widows. Some widows have been empowered right now. Some were given money to buy items of sales, and we are monitoring this to ensure that the money they have been given is not used for things apart from to buy their items, sell them, then grow their business. It is not all about giving them money to pay their school fees like Nazaz is doing, the Sadako arm of Nasfat, the national agency, Nasfat agency for Zakat and Sadako. Nazaz is giving out money to the needy, giving out money to widows to help them. So the women management are taking it upon themselves to single out the widows and empower them, because if you look at the Nazaz list, you have all sorts of people with different needs. So with the widows program alone, they are giving money to grow a business for themselves, so that through that they'll be able to pay their children's school fees, pay their house rent, feed the family well, so that they too can live above poverty line and be a part of the society. And with that, they will be able to work and also get the pleasure of Allah. So this is another way through which Nasfat is seeking the pleasure of Allah through their programs.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you very much, Alaja. And on that note, we call it a day on Nasfat half hour. Inshallah, we will come another time. But don't forget all the lessons we have learned on today's edition of the program. It is very, very important to seek the favor of Allah or the pleasure of Allah. Before I go, I have to thank my guests on today's edition of the program. I would like to start from Alhaja Samiat of Molara Mumini, the Women Affairs Secretary, Nasfat Worldwide. Jazakumullahu khairan.
It's a pleasure to be on this program. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I also want to thank Alhaja Sadiat Onike Abdulaziz, the coordinator of Dawa program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming to the program. And lastly, inshallah, I want to thank Alhaja Folami Nurat, member of Women Management Committee. Jazakumullahu khairan. And thank you for coming to the program.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We'll see you some other time again. Take good care of yourself. My name is Fauziya Salakosoni. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن